welcome to my YouTube channel. I have finally decided to start vlogging. So to those who don't know me, my name is Jules, short for Juliet, and I am the maker and creator behind Kamala Creations. Welcome to my space. Welcome to me rambling all my nonsense. I wanted to create this because yesterday I got really inspired by a few artists that I follow and decided that, you know, I really love seeing people's journeys into art and creativity, and it's really nice to get to know people, and how better else to do that than through video. So this is me embarking upon a new journey into video and talking and being in front of the camera. I actually also got a bit of a nudge to do this from a dear friend of mine who did an astrology reading for me and said to start, you know, writing and talking more. So I'm also taking inspiration from that too. So, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? I wanted to share with you a bit of my journey into the fusion that I have developed of wellness, kind of spiritual growth, personal growth, and creativity, and how those have come to be in my journey into where I'm at now. And yeah, just to give you a bit of an insight into my journey into creativity and the artist and business that I've got today. So, my wellness side of my journey started whilst I was at the end of blah 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 blah. So, I come from a gorgeous little town called Hebden Bridge in West Yorkshire, Calderdale, UK, United Kingdom. It is a beautiful little valley town. It is full of creative people, of artists, of community arts projects, and yeah, it's been a real source of inspiration since I was little. I've been involved in numerous projects, organisations, community arts events, and that kind of thing, and that really kind of inspired my journey into university. So I studied quite a few different creative arts subjects at school and high school, college, and decided to fuse them and study creative arts and events management when I went to university. I started off down in Bournemouth at the Arts College University Bournemouth. Amazing place to study, and then I transferred up to Leeds to be closer to home. And yeah, so studied entertainment management, which is basically the equivalent of the creative arts and events management in Bournemouth. And yeah, I really got involved and absorbed into like the festival scene, the music scene. I worked in a club in Leeds called Beaverworks, which had like lots of free parties and underground events, and got to know a lot of people and got to kind of really explore creative expression in an interactive format, because I absolutely adore festivals. I love the whole thing of, you go there for an alternative living experience, don't you? And especially like Glastonbury and other festivals where they've got art installations, for you to really get immersed in that like sensory experience of like interactive performers. You've got installations and lights and colour and music and theatre and dance, and then you've got all the like the healing fields of like meditation and yoga and all those like really juicy, deeply connected things, which I didn't really dive into at that point. I was more on kind of partying and doing decor for festivals and events. I did stage management, I did stewarding, I did car parking, I did a whole range of stuff, and met some lovely people and made some really amazing connections that I'm still friends with today, so I am deeply grateful for that. So the beginning of my kind of inner expansion, healing, kind of soul work kind of started when I was at the end of university. I'd had a bit of a bad breakup with someone that I was a bit codependent with, and I took a big blow from it. It was, yeah, I was really sad. But also it was a pivotal time for me to slow down and to kind of figure out what I wanted to do next. I knew that I couldn't go at the pace that I had been going at. The late night, staying up all night, partying a lot. My body and mental health was pretty crap at that time. And I remember having a chat with a friend of mine who said, you know, it's okay to go and do something for yourself. So that's what I did. I went and booked into a lovely healer, masseuse, Reiki teacher called Hannah Binns. I will put a link to her work below because I really highly recommend her. And I had a massage session and she did some Reiki for me. And that was a really powerful session for me. I'd never heard or experienced of Reiki before. I'd never booked into a massage before, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect. But actually it was a real safe space for me to let go and just kind of release all the sadness that I was feeling towards this breakup and, you know, end of university, off into the big bad world. Who am I? What am I going to do? What's life about? What's my direction in life? So yeah, I had a big cry. And from then I started getting sparks of, you know, synchronicity of like the direction and things that I wanted to do, and a big part of that was to slow down and dive into creativity in a more soulful and connected way, and just find a bit of direction with that for myself. And I met my dear partner and current partner. We've now got a little boy together, and we've been together for 6 years-ish. Don't tell him, I probably should know that. So yeah, I met him and moved up to Cumbria, and we lived in a beautiful little cottage. And this was a real beautiful time for me to just slow down and, you know, find some inspiration and what I wanted to do. So I was scrolling on Pinterest, my absolute favourite, and came across mandalas and Zentangle, all about mark making, pattern play, and just kind of slowing down into the process and using repetitive patterns to build up these beautiful pieces of work. And that's what you find with a lot of mandala work and Zentangle, is that they look really complex, but actually when you break them down, they're really simple. And I really liked that because I didn't think I was very good. I was, you know, brought up around lots of naturally, or what I felt naturally creative people who didn't really need to put much effort into their artwork, whereas I really did. So yeah, the mandalas and the Zentangle really allowed me to, you know, commit and put some practice in and actually realise that I can be creative and I can draw these beautiful things. It just takes me a bit more time and effort. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, that you think that you should be able to create straight away, when actually some people can do that, and that's, you know, great on them, good on them. But for others, it takes time and practice and commitment. And that's me. So I'm all about teaching you and guiding you to be able to do that too, because we're all bloody creative. We just need to nurture that within us. So moved up and did Kamala Creations, came from that point. So I did my mandalas and Zentangle and decided to rebirth the kind of page that I'd created called Gem, which was Jules' Emporium of Magical Makings. And that was basically all the stuff that I did at uni. So, you know, I was sewing hoods and harem pants. I was doing kind of decor work, and I'd put that all on that page, but I decided to rebrand into Kamala Creations. So the rebrand of into Kamala Creations basically came from me starting to like journal daily and dive into me, myself and I, my behaviours, thoughts, feelings, beliefs and all that jazz. And also Kamala is Sanskrit for lotus flower, and I feel like it's a really beautiful representation of, even in the darkest of times, the muddy waters, the soil that the lotus flower grows in, with nurturing, with love, with growth, you can bloom into this beautiful being. And it's the same with artwork. You might think you're really crap, but with some practice, commitment, some love, you can bloom and create these beautiful things. And I just really love that, that I love that metaphor. A big part of one of the big beliefs that I've got is, from all negatives can grow some positives, as long as you're willing to put in the work, put in the commitment, and dive in. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but we can make beauty in life. It doesn't need to be hard, and it doesn't need to be painful. And this comes and ties into really beautifully my first kind of healing journey into like my kind of therapy. So as I was doing these mandalas and like learning about Zentangle, I came across through a friend of a friend, a beautiful and now dear sister and woman that I work for called Yana Fay Dzedze. I think I've said that right. And she was on her journey doing the spiral and becoming a spiral practitioner. And the spiral is an incredible journey of diving in and unlocking emotions stored in the body at different levels of the chakra system. And it uses kinesiology, so muscle testing into the body to feel where and what is being stored from childhood, from trauma, from past experience, and unlocking and moving those out of the system so that you can be a more open, expanded, and true and aligned version of yourself. And yeah, not many people kind of got the work that I was doing with Yana. I'm actually really deeply passionate about it and want to become a spiral practitioner myself. And it was a real unlocking and permission giving process of, letting go of the baggage that I held around a big traumatic event that has impacted my family just incredibly. So my sister was killed when she was 13. I was only 1, maybe not even that at the time, and we've never found out who did it. And so obviously I have experienced varying responses to grief and pain and sadness in the family members that I've been brought up with. And I think a deep part of me wanting to get into wellness and personal growth is to find things, tools, practices to be able to move through the hard shit in life. And going through the spiral was one of them, and creative expression is another one. And it was just incredible, and lots of stuff came up for me, and a lot of it was around Lindsay and what happened to her, and the impact on my family, of just being okay with showing up to life even though we've had this really bad thing happen, and that it doesn't take away from that. So yeah, it was a big permission piece of stepping into me and being okay with me, which was incredible. And it then led me into diving. God, it's so incredible. I remember looking back at this phase and thinking, oh my god, I have got so much stuff to learn. Like, I'm just delving into kind of like spirituality and personal growth and personal development, and half the shit that these people that I was looking up online, I didn't have a clue what the wording and the terminology meant. It was so far past me that I just felt, shit man, I've got loads to learn. But I'm a bit of an eager beaver with wanting to learn and discover new things, so I was totally okay with that. And yeah, I got this inspiration and kind of calling to have a look at the menstrual cycle and the energies of the different phases of the menstrual cycle. I'd seen a couple of people pop up online talking about the womb space and, you know, how to work with your cyclical nature as women, and I wanted to know more. And it just so happened that Yana had started her beautiful journey online sisterhood called Deep Inner Knowing, which delves into just this. And I'd done the spiral with her and trusted her completely. So finally said yes to the journey, and oh my god, it was like this next level of expansion and permission piece dropped in when I did Deep Inner Knowing and the pelvic ball activation of, you know, learning about who I was as a woman, like how to tap into my cycle and learn about the different energies of the different phases and how you can use those to really know where you're at each month. Like, I think the beautiful thing, and you know, the most forgotten piece that women have, we've forgotten this stuff of, like, we have a monthly death rebirth cycle of, you know, a time where we get to release and purge and let go of all the shit that's happened that month. But also in that we get to rebirth, and we have, you know, during ovulation we're getting sparks of ideas and inspiration, and we're fertile and we're in that inner spring phase. And it just made so much sense to me that, you know, I didn't want to work in this like hustle and grind kind of lifestyle. I wanted to like work with the energies of me, of my cycle as a woman. And also from that, I've created the most amazing friendships with amazing sisters from around the world that I'm deeply, deeply connected to, and I'm so grateful for that. And so the other element of the Deep Inner Knowing journey was actually the creative cycle, and how the menstrual cycle directly correlates to the creative cycle, because our wombs are there to create life. And what is more creative than creating life? And this is something that I went through the energetics of, you know, the creative cycle and the pelvic ball activation with Deep Inner Knowing. And then me and Warren, my partner, started a family and we had a child. And so I was able to go through the physical activation of my womb cycle of sparking through ovulation and creating a baby, and holding and nurturing that baby through pregnancy and birthing. Given my birth experience wasn't the best, quite traumatic, and had a real big impact on me in the first 6 months, which I'm trying to dive into now to kind of unlock those pieces. I will do another vlog about my birth experience, because I do feel like it's something really important to share and a big part of who I am now. And yeah, so this journey of physical activation of having a child and becoming a mother has now like given me this next level of unlocking with creativity, and I found this like newfound passion and, you know, drive to create a life where I have got a thriving creative business for myself, for others, and for my family. And I get to tie in creativity with my son. I get to create learning experiences and environments for him to develop and grow as a person, and I get to learn how to tap into my inner child through doing that for my son. How great is that? So that's a bit of my journey from where I started with creativity and what it's turned into, and where I'm at the moment is, yeah, I'm in a real experimental phase of creating, giving myself full permission to create what feels right in the moment and kind of follow my intuition of what am I getting sparks and idea to create, because I know that at some point it's going to come into one and they're going to fuse and I'll find my style. I am going to do another sharing on it's Steal Like an Artist, another book that I'm reading at the moment, about finding inspiration and delving into those that inspire you to find your own style. So that's where I'm at this year, and that's what I'm processing, which is really exciting and really playful, actually. I'm really enjoying it. And the vision that I've got for Kamala Creations that is landing more and more is I want to turn the artwork that I've already created into notebooks, journals, and art journals, because journaling and art journaling is an incredible process. It's a way of expressing yourself often when words won't come through, and it's a way of being able to just offload and unpack and express yourself. And it's really important that we do that, because we store a lot in our bodies and we store a bloody lot in our minds. And I want to just create my artwork to create these lovely little books and sacred spaces for people to express themselves in. And then the follow on to that is to create a range of classes from art journaling, abstract work that dive and take you on a journey into different themes. So it could be balance, it could be like dreams or intuitive flow, and I've not figured out the details of it yet, but I want to create a bit of a collaborative online art school where people can take classes, go at their own pace, and learn new skills and have a bit of guidance to tap into your own creativity. And these will then transcribe into or transfer over into in-person events. So I'd love to run workshops where it's kind of a fusion of like women's circle, where we do intention, we do a bit of movement, we have a bit of a sharing space, and then we create as well. So a real kind of juicy experience to take yourself on as a total self-care, self-love thing for yourself. And what else? Yeah, so having my work on a range of products and then creating these classes and school of art. And I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm still kind of building it at the moment, is there will be a directory on my website of creative and wellness practitioners that I really am passionate about, and so that you can, if you're wanting to find different types of art, or if you're wanting to find a masseuse, or if you're wanting to find a spiral practitioner, like all these people will be on there with links and bios to their work, because I feel another element of Kamala Creations is to create a platform to share people's work, whether it be creative or wellness, the two things that I absolutely love. So that's what the dream is, that's the vision for the future. So I'm slowly working away at it in the time that I've got available when my son is being cared for by family members. So it will be a bit of a slow process until I get more time, but I'm really enjoying the slowness and kind of, diving into this stuff. I love it. So that is a bit about me, my journey, who I am, my interests, and where the fusion has come about with wellness and creativity. I hope that you've taken lots from this. The whole intention is that whatever I share in these vlogs, that I hope that there is nuggets of gold that you get from them that will resonate with you in your own life. So please feel free to share them away. If you've got any comments or questions, please pop them below. I'd love to connect with you. I'll also pop in my Etsy shop and social media feeds in the thing below. Still going to work out the technicalities of all this stuff, so do bear with me whilst I figure that out. And thank you for witnessing me and listening along to my journey. I look forward to sharing more with you. I kind of have the intention to dive into motherhood, creativity, art tutorials, and wellness. Kind of what am I learning at the moment, with fused with like magic and ritual and all this juicy stuff that makes you feel good. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.